Welcome back. It's your boy DJ Gary. Be sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, share this channel with your family, friends. Let them know what's up. So, I was just watching a movie, and, this movie dates back to like 17 years ago. And I was thinking, like, this character is awfully like Wilson Pickett. Like, this movie could be like a short partial portrayal of Wilson Pickett. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this, right? So I'm going with Dreamgirls. I was watching that again and I was like, this is, like Eddie Murphy, you know, is such a a magnet type actor. Like, he knows how to do impressions, you know and so when he did this character, Jimmy Early, right? So in Dreamgirls, Jimmy Early could be a combination of, like Marvin Gaye, James Brown, um you know that type of thing. It could be a combination of these artists. But in Dreamgirls, you know, when I heard Eddie Murphy sing and he's, does that scream, I was like, this is so much like Wilson Pickett. And I kind of feel like the ball was dropped, or nobody picked up the ball to say, hey, let's make a Wilson Pickett biopic. Now, Wilson Pickett had died, I believe, maybe 3 years prior to this film coming out. But, like Dreamgirls, like just the whole Dreamettes, Wilson Pickett. The thing about it is, right, like Marvin Gaye, right, when he first did his thing, Stubborn Kind of Fella, uh, Hitchhike, that type of thing, Pride and Joy, he had Martha Reeves and the Vandellas backing him, right? All right. Marvin Gaye had that. And, on those early shows, uh he would have like Darlene Love, or let me see, am I saying that, or is Edna Wright? He would have her and a couple other girls. Edna Wright went on to become part of the Honeycombs. But what I'm saying is, like, they would do background for Marvin Gaye on these shows, right? And I'm quite sure whoever produced Dreamgirls was going back and looking at certain things, and I believe that they took a page out of Wilson Pickett and decided to kind of like spotlight him a little bit, right? Not so much on certain things, but it's kind of self-explanatory, you know, if you really watch Dreamgirls again, and you'd be like, hey, this character, Eddie Murphy sounds a lot like uh, Wilson Pickett. like it's easy to really, assess that because I mean there was always like a male entertainer out in the 60s, whether it be Major Lance, uh, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Gene Chandler, um, you know, uh, Jerry Butler, um, you know, there was always, even, Johnny Taylor, early Johnny Taylor, there was always, male artists that was out. And sometimes they would have, women background singers and stuff like that, right? But I just find it interesting. Jimmy Early, the character that Eddie Murphy plays, seems a lot like Wilson Pickett. Like it's kind of like it would be crazy if you didn't really pay attention to it. Like you could see the resemblance almost. There's almost like a resemblance. And Wilson Pickett was a wild guy, back in the day. Him and the Isley brothers had a shootout, right? But then afterwards they were like the best buddies. They was drinking. So it's kind of easy to make the correlation that Dreamgirls writers might have been, took a page out of Wilson Pickett book and said, "Hey, let's let's do something with this." Like it's easy. The performances that, because Wilson Pickett was like, other than James Brown, uh, maybe Joe Tex, maybe Johnny Taylor, but I don't know if Johnny Taylor was screaming back then, like hollering on the records because he was a blues singer, right? So what I'm saying is, you know, Jimmy Early character could be a mixture. It's kind of like how they did in the Five Heartbeats, right? There was like a mixture of all these of the Five Heartbeats. Like they were saying, well, this is based on some Temptations, Dale's situation. This is, you got some people saying, well, the Five Heartbeat, uh, Bird from the Midnight Falcons, that was one of the Dales who got uh, dangled over the balcony and beat up. You have some people who says that, but how true that is, I heard otherwise. I heard that was Jackie Wilson who got dangled over the balcony and beat up, by some mob guys. That's what the Dales told, or that's what they said. But back to this character, it just seems very interesting. Like, did people catch on to it? I don't think people really caught on to it. They just was like, "Oh, well, this is a good movie." You know, Eddie Murphy is a great actor. And Eddie Murphy does have singing chops. He could be serious when he wants to be. And I believe this is around the time that they could have made a Wilson Pickett biopic easily and got Eddie Murphy to do, Wilson Pickett. This will like this era right here, this would have been like the idea for Eddie Murphy to play Wilson Pickett. I mean, can Eddie Murphy still play Wilson Pickett? I'm quite sure he can, but the question is, would it look right now? Like, you know, well, how would that go? I'm sure everybody would want to know what would be the whole, like, how to get into that. No, he could do it, but it probably would take him a while to get back into, you know, uh, Jimmy Early, James Early, right? It would probably take him a little while because he's so far removed from that 2006, 2007 era. But it would be interesting. I know Eddie Murphy's supposed to be doing the biopic of uh, George Clinton, but are they going to do it? It just seems like it's sitting ducks. Um, I would like to see, what's the deal on that? Like, what is like, is there ever going to be a biopic of Wilson Pickett? I would like to know because I believe Eddie Murphy he might still pull it off. Like this video, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. All right, I'm out.